Thomas Tuchel, or TT to his friends, has been in charge at Chelsea. What do you make of his time there, those 12 months, Benty?
Very successful. I mean,
frighteningly. It's maybe too successful, do you think?
Not too successful because, I mean, you look at last season when he came in, when they sacked Frank, he made a few decisions and you think, wow, the whole Rudiger situation, because look at him now. He looks like one of the best defenders in the world. Alonso, I know...
When he's playing as a 3, does.
Yeah. Alonso, I know, defensively not great, but even him playing his part going forward.
Frank didn't use him a lot,
didn't use him at all. Didn't use him at all.
No.
Then you look at the likes of... I mean, the way they ended the season... Listen, we're not talking about the Champions League yet, but I'm talking about Premier League form. Wasn't great, by the way, because you can remember last day of the season...
Was it Leicester?
They just about got in there. They lost to Villa, and Tottenham beat Leicester, so they managed to get in there. But to go on and win the Champions League, they got to an FA Cup final. I know they lost it, but they still got there. They were in another League Cup final. They won the Super Cup. I mean, you can't say anything else, but it's been really, really successful.
Okay, but what about from then to now? Because they're effectively out the champions, the Premier League race to be champions. Do you think 10 points behind? They played a game more than City.
I can't,
they're out the race, right?
Yeah, I can't see.
City dropping points.
Yeah, I can't see City dropping points, but you still have to say they're still in with a great chance of the Champions League. They've got Lille. I'd expect them to blow past them.
Yeah.
But I also feel as well that at the minute this Chelsea team is built for cup competitions like the Champions League. Does that make sense? Like over 2 legs, I think he's tactically very, very good at sussing out a team over 2 legs and getting the job done. So honestly, it wouldn't surprise me. I don't think they will, but it wouldn't surprise me if they, again this season, went and won the Champions League, or at least got to the final.
If they finish 4th or 3rd and don't win a trophy, is he gone?
No, but he better start off next season very well.
Really well, otherwise there's...
Yeah. But who they got in the... Liverpool in the League Cup final. So there's a chance they could win that. So that's already... So if he can knock that one out early doors, that's another trophy. Still in the Champions League. I don't think they'll win the Premier League.
The League Cup's not enough to keep a Chelsea manager in the job.
No, but to get over nicely. Another trophy here.
Yeah.
There are teams out there that would snap your hand off for that trophy.
Yeah, of course, but Chelsea aren't one of them.
No,
they need either the Premier League or the Champions League.
Yeah. But when I speak to Chelsea fans that I know, I say, "But you're in the League Cup final." Don't worry about that. If he won the Big Ears Cup a couple months ago.
If he wins the Champions League again, how close is he to becoming Chelsea's greatest ever manager? Or has he got to win the Premier League for that?
Well, if he wins 2 Champions Leagues, I think if he wins 1 Premier League and 2 Champions Leagues, I think he could be the greatest. Because Jose, as good as he was, he never won the Champions League at Chelsea. But if he wins 2 of them and the Premier League,
he's the best they've ever had.
Oh, he's up there with one.
Yeah,
he'd be up there.
Okay. Carlton Cole joined Jason Cundy on the Sports Bar last night, and he gave his thoughts on Thomas Tuchel's first year in charge as Chelsea gaffer.
At the end of the season, we can judge him a little bit more.
Of course.
We can say the first year, bit lucky.
Whoa!
People can say bit lucky. People can.
Hold on. What do you mean, people? Who are people?
Because he didn't get them. He didn't get them to the Champions League final. He didn't get them to the Champions League final. That was half of the job was already done.
Look, that was done. Frank done a great job getting us out the groups. He got us out the group, Frank.
Yeah.
Yeah, but after that...
Yeah, then he done that, but
we had to beat both Real Madrid, Atleti Madrid.
Well, they're not great. They weren't great teams at the time, were they?
Well, we made them look average, I have to say.
Yeah, you know
and then you beat the best side in the country the last couple of years, Man City.
Oh, but you haven't got their number at the moment.
By the way, Jason Cundy will be back making more horse noises from 10 o'clock on talkSPORT later on. Listen, they both made some interesting points. I just wonder now if Chelsea fans will think that what you've just said about him possibly becoming Chelsea's greatest ever manager is just 1 Champions League and 1 Premier League title away, is he?
I don't think it's just 1, but if he's consistent, say he's there for, I don't know, so this is if he's there for 3 years, which is to be a Chelsea manager and do that. But if you say he wins, I don't know, 1 Premier League, 2 Champions Leagues, an FA Cup and a League Cup, he must be in the discussion.
Are all Chelsea fans happy with him right now?
You'll always find one that's not. do you know what I mean? And then we just had
I don't think you will.
Sean Dyche to be keeping him in the league with a shoestring, and we had one fan call up. He's got to go.
Yeah, but I don't think I don't think it's possible for a Chelsea fan to phone up and say they're not happy with Thomas Tuchel.
I bet you'll get one.
I don't think there's one existing.
I bet
on the back of what? What could they possibly say?
That they're out the title race potentially.
Right.
That he's had money to spend. He spent it on Lukaku. It hasn't worked.
Yeah. Jason's.
So you'll get what I mean. I'd be if I was a Chelsea fan, I would be more than happy with the job that he's done. But you'd always get one that's like, not sure.
If they don't win the Premier League or the Champions League this season, and you said the first few games next season is under the cosh, they couldn't pull the trigger though, could they? They did. Was it?
Ancelotti won the double,
and then
they finished second, and then got the chop.
Yeah.
Work that out.
Yeah, but that's what Chelsea are a basket case of a club. That's what they do with all their managers. And when they sack their manager, you think, well, that's it. There's no managers left on the planet. And all of a sudden they get Thomas Tuchel.
And do you know what I like about Abramovich in this scenario is that he does that, and sometimes he pulls the trigger and you go, really? But what he does do, every manager that he does, other than Frank Lampard, because that was a different scenario, every manager that he gets in, he basically goes to them and just says to them, what do you need? And they'll say, I need this, this and this. And he puts his hand in his pocket, gives them. He got Thomas Tuchel at the start of the season, goes, I need a centre forward. Who do you want? I want Lukaku. Okay, here's 100 million, go and get him. So I guess if he gives you everything you need as a manager, and then you fail...
It's very rare that happens as well, isn't it?
Yeah, so I guess it's in his nature. They go, well, you know what? What more do you want? I've given you what you wanted. You haven't done it what I want, so bye.
Why hasn't he been more consistent in the Premier League then, do you think? They've only lost 3 games, which is just one more than Man City and Liverpool.
Their problem is they've been drawing too many games.
Yeah.
You look at the amount of times.
They've drawn 8 games.
But the amount of times in them games as well, you have to look at where they've been in charge, they've been on top of the game, and they've let it slip. I mean, you go back to the game? The Brighton game. They let Welbeck come on and score at the end. Liverpool game was a great game of football. Brighton the first time, Wolves 0-0. Everton scoring at the end. Do you know what I mean? They let too many teams back in again. Do you know what I mean? At the end, so that's what's killed him a little bit. But as I said, I still think he's a very good manager.
If they were going to add to their squad, are they short? What areas are they short in? Or what players do you think aren't playing as well as they were maybe the first half of the season? Mason Mount, I've heard his name being criticised.
Well, listen, it's been a big miss. The 2 fullbacks. Ben Chilwell was playing as well as anyone in the country at the time when he got injured. Reece James is another big outlet. He was scoring goals. I think he was the top goal scorer.
Yeah.
He might even still be at one stage.
I think both their fullbacks were at one stage. Yeah.
So that's a big miss. We know that Mendy's away in the AFCON, so then they're missing him a little bit. Although Kepa has done okay. But I do think they need another centre midfielder. And I think they need a midfielder that can score goals. Because Kante at the minute, he hasn't looked like the Kante of old. He's been giving the ball away a lot, Kante recently, which is not like him. I think Kovacic is a top player, doesn't get enough goals. So I think they need a player like a Conor Gallagher.
Yeah. What about? Okay, the only reason I'm saying this, we know his contract's coming to an end soon. What about someone like Paul Pogba? Would he fit into Chelsea?
Can you imagine when Paul Pogba plays alongside Kante, he looks like a completely different player. Yeah. If they was to go and sign him, Chelsea, wow, that midfield's through. But again, he doesn't really score enough goals.
No, he doesn't.
They need someone like...
But you think he'd get more time on the ball if he was alongside Kante, as he does for France?
You would. But when you look at Chelsea early on, not even their most successful periods, because they've been successful ever since Abramovich took over, but Lampard was always that one getting in the box when he's getting the goals, and that one and how many
but they were
games...
spoiled with Lampard. That doesn't happen.
I get that, but they need someone who can get in the box and score goals. And I think you look at Conor Gallagher, I think he could be that person. Cause
do you? You think he could start for Chelsea?
I think he could, but do you know what's mad? Is that Chelsea would go and pay 60 million for a player of that ilk.
That's right.
When they've got one
now
there.
they've got one, they probably won't play him.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, you don't think there's one Chelsea fan out there that isn't happy with Thomas Tuchel, right?
I think you'll find one.
Do you?
He might not call up the show, but there'll be one out there.
I don't think there'll be one.